everyone. This is Desiree with California Fight League. Welcome to the fights.
And welcome to the high desert, Victorville, California, for another outstanding night of mixed martial arts action inside the steel cage. It's California Fight League. Hey everybody, I'm Jay Adams alongside longtime UFC veteran Joe Daddy Stevenson. Joe, a lot of pressure on these fighters. You know, we were talking about this earlier. A lot of them are making their debut. First time on TV, NBC Sports Network, one of the most decorated fighters in UFC history, commentating them. That's a lot of pressure. What's going on in their minds right now in the locker room?
They're praying that they prepared properly for this because they're going to be at altitude. It's going to be hot. They're going to go out there and they're going to try to execute their game plan to the T. And if it works out for them, they're going to get their hand raised tonight.
All right, let's talk about the main event. A strap is at stake here tonight, California Fight League strap. Mason Ikebelis against Anthony Roque.
Mason's one of the best fighters I've seen in a long time coming up. I can guarantee that this fight goes so well that you're not going to question the judge's decision. Both of these guys want that belt. Both of these guys want to be elevated on this platform. They want to show the world what they have, and they got an opportunity. They're going to do it.
All right, we hear thrasher music going on outside. There's going to be some thrashing going on inside the cage. Let's hit it.
Let the battles begin. Fight fans, here we go. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner to my right. He's an MMA specialist, standing 5 feet 6 inches tall. He went officially at 161 pounds even. Tonight, his record stands 1 win against 3 defeats, representing Adrenaline MMA and fighting out of Beaumont, California. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing And introducing his opponent, fighting across the cage out of the red corner to my left. He's a freestyle fighter, standing 5 feet 8 inches tall. He winning officially at 159 pounds even. His record tonight, 2 wins against 1 defeat, representing the Cobra Kai and fighting out of Victorville, California. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Tony, the Honey Badger. Once again, your referee in charge, Mike, about time to go final instructions.
All right, don't been over the rules already. Protect yourself at all times, obey my commands at all times. Touch goes now if you want. The sound of the bell, come on out and handle your business. Let's go.
Scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds at 160. Here we go. Bad boy, excuse me.
Ever coming out in southpaw stance. A lot of times they counter the southpaw as the cross. Tony tends to open it up with his hands and looks to secure rounds with takedowns, but his kickboxing is on point. Tony doing a great job of, or Ever doing a great job of being ready and staying ready for those shots, keeping those hands up. That can, that's something that's so important in the sport. If you have to stay ready. If you're in range for your opponent, you're in danger of getting knocked out.
Oh, he caught it in the groin. So Ever Hernandez will get 5 minutes to try to shake it off.
Oh, that was a good one because sometimes you're like, oh, did he really get hit? No, we saw that.
Oh yeah, he got popped.
But what also happens right now is Tony can't be coached. He has to go to a neutral corner, so his coach cannot speak to him. And now Ever is taken out of whatever game plan. I know accidents happen, but your train of thought is now lost. So it's difficult. And the fighter just wants to get back in there, but a lot of times the coach is like, hey, relax, take the full 5 minutes, catch your breath, regroup, don't go out there emotional.
Here we go, time is put back on the clock. We'll see how that affected. Wow, it's amazing he went to the inside leg kick right away like that. Usually it makes you shy a little for at least a minute.
Yeah, but sometimes you can't worry about that. That's your opponent's problem.
Right.
Beautiful shot. Oh, Ever doing a great job of changing levels and getting a whizzer. Oh, outside trip by Tony. That ended up catching Ever, because before that, Ever did a great job with that whizzer, and he was getting the angle. Antonio's now top position, splitting the middle, going for a guillotine. Wow, great jobs, great transition. Oh, sometimes that can cost you, going for the finish to lose position, but if you think you've got it, you got to go.
Good job there, Ever getting out of danger.
Seeing a lot of luck, or not luck, but a lot of success. That was very polite, because it's not, fighter doesn't have to back off until the referee stops him. I mean, both of these guys are trying to hurt each other right now, but there's actual mutual respect that you saw just now from that.
Yeah, and Gomez had apologized after the groin strike too, so there's good blood here, and they're both acting like professionals. 10-second warning here in
There's
the
the
opener.
single leg, trying to secure another takedown, but it's hard because Ever had a great crossface. Nice job, both fighters.
Seconds out. How'd you score that first round?
Antonio did get a solid takedown. The strikes were close, but he was able to get some of the kicks. In my opinion, 10-9 to Antonio. However, Ever was in that fight the whole time. As long as Ever doesn't lose position, I mean, he can knock out Tony. He's got the low center of gravity, allows you to land some big shots there. Both fighters open stance. You saw an overhand right there from Ever that came over the hand of Tony. Tony looking for the shot, Ever pushing him in the fence. You want to see Antonio change levels to get underneath his opponent. Ever able to land some nice strikes there and readjust position. So now, good head movement by both. No one's slowing down the pace. Ever knows that he's got to be careful of the hands and the feet of Antonio and expect a takedown. So it doesn't really let him set up anything. He doesn't have time to watch. You kind of want to see a little bit more aggression out of him, but he's had success with the countering.
Yeah, he's gotten out of trouble. He's very explosive. You know, he's just 22 years old. Has that explosive ability.
Oh, wow. You've got to see the footwork, though. The footwork defines everything. Right there, Ever going for a guillotine, and Antonio shoving the shoulder in. He's not in trouble there. If he wants to focus the position, the head pops out. Now, right now, he's got to be careful because Ever could step on the cage, so you want to make sure you crowd him. You're in control, but you got to be careful of those up kicks.
Beautiful up kick.
So Ever's going to probably look to use the fence. Antonio's going to try to block positions and get some ground and pound. Both of these fighters know that it's still a close round, so you want to do damage on top. We've seen the referee earlier in the fight stand up. We've seen success with the uppercut right away. Back to striking. Great stand-up by Ever. Double leg attempt. Now Ever's went for this guillotine several times, and it's kind of costed him because his takedown defense has been great. But maybe he knows he needs to try to get a finish. I'm not sure right there. When you don't have guard, the guillotine on the opposite side of the body is very difficult to have success with.
So I think the corner of Ever Hernandez frustrated with the lack of offense, and it's just, you know, Antonio's able to impose his will, at least in this round.
Now, you saw Antonio in a second. He wants to bump in, keep him flat. He's going to look to put his knee on top of Ever's hand and then maybe try to hit him. We've seen him try this several times. Kimura attacked by Ever. Ever's never out of this fight, but it's just his choice of going for the submission rather than defending the submission, giving up the position or defending the takedown.
Yeah, he's got a good active guard. You know, he's trying for the submissions. So it's not, he's not laying and praying. He's active and he's trying to get to his feet. Good job there.
Oh, wow, he's never stopped. You know, can you blame him for trying to go for a finish? Can you say, oh man, I don't know if that was the right decision there? Because he's trying to end the fight.
And that just takes time. These guys are young. Ever Hernandez is 22. Gomez is just 26.
Catching of the gloves. Now, before we saw Ever land an overhand right from the footwork, spinning back fist, but you never really want to throw a single spinning back fist without your opponent circling, because that's normally most effective when you're circling, when the guy is trying to beat your foot. But as we can see, Tony's actually coming straight in. If anyone's, look at the footwork. You can see it's all in the lead foot. Where Ever's stepping, you see the lateral motion before he comes in. He kind of wants to throw that spinning back fist again, I kind of felt like right there. But if Antonio doesn't give him a circular motion, now that was great out of Ever. Why? Because beginning, he threw the spinning back fist. Expecting Antonio to read and register the same thing, he threw a spinning heel kick. Good push kick. Tries to follow up with a good roundhouse overhand. Antonio able to collect himself. Now Ever's pushing the pace, but he very well could be down in the cards.
I think he feels the impetus to push the pace. He's doing a great job doing it. I wouldn't even, Gomez could be rocked.
Yeah, but then he started coming forward. That was crazy. Ever has a choice. Does he go for that? Does he circle? Hands up. Great job. I think that was an adjustment that they made in between rounds, and I think it was very smart of them. Ever trying to come up the middle with an uppercut, but he seems to be a little bit fatigued. I think if he was a little bit more fresh, he would have had more luck with that.
Yeah, right now, Joe Daddy, Ever's corner is begging him to put the pressure on. They think Gomez is hurt. If he's not hurt, he's tired, but he has no offense whatsoever. Well, Ever's got to close out right now.
I think they're both fatigued, so any punch right now from either of them can knock him out. You got to keep your guard up. We see the spinning hook kick again. That takes a lot of energy out of you. Maybe I'm mistaken about Ever, but I mean, I think you see his corner saying more than one shot, because it's not the first one that's going to catch him. It's this third or fourth one that comes in and catches your opponent's guard.
They want pressure because the Honey Badger has offered not that much offense here.
We've seen 2 shots, but we've seen Ever now defend the shots. Oh, wow. That could be fatigue, could have been caught, but you see him stepping in and coming forward. This is ending like Rocky. Both of these guys trying to finish it, which is crazy. Normally you'll see a shot. I would expect one shot from either of them right now. They're hitting each other with everything they've got, but they're unfortunately very fatigued at this point. Any punch right now that lands, you can't do a linear knee kick. Any punch that lands could knock anyone out right now. You hear 10 seconds, expect a flurry.
Whoa.
Nice spinning kick. And
Ever's got all the juice right now. That's a great Ever Hernandez round, but is it too little too late?
Ladies and gentlemen, how about a big round of applause for both of these warriors? 3 fantastic rounds of action. And now to the judges' scorecards, we go for the official decision. All 3 judges, Chris Lieben, Rafael Davis, and Jackie Dinkin, all seem about the same. 29-28, all in favor of your winner by unanimous decision from Victorville, California, Tony, the Honey Badger Gomez. Fight fans, here we go. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner to my right. He's a freestyle fighter, standing 6 feet even. He went officially at 146 pounds even. His record tonight are 2 wins against 3 defeats, representing Adrenaline MMA and fighting out of Highland, California. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Alex Campos. And introducing his opponent, fighting across the cage out of the red corner to my left. He's a boxing and jiu-jitsu style specialist. 75 feet, 6 inches tall. He went officially at 145 pounds even. Tonight, his record of 1 win against 3 defeats, representing SoCal Fight Factory and fighting out of Palmdale, California. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Uziel Uzi Bides. Once again, your referee in charge, Rafael Davis, give the final instructions.
All right, we went over the rules in the back. Protect yourself at all times. Follow my commands at all times. Touch gloves as you're going to touch now. Come out, have a good, clean fight.
All right, this fight scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds in the featherweight division. That's 145 pounds. You are looking at Alex Campos, who fights out of Adrenaline FC. And his opponent on the other side of the cage is Uziel Vides, or they call him Uzi. There's on the left-hand side of your screen in the blue corner, Alex Campos. And in just a second, you will see his opponent fighting out of SoCal Fight Factory. There he is right there, Uziel Vides. Vides in the gray and black and white trunks, Campos in the black.
Vides coming out southpaw, looking to throw that loopy hook. A lot of times, that's a good counter punch. Very difficult to throw that over that lead hook on the opposite side stance if your opponent's not coming forward. Nice. Oh, he's continuing with it, and then that was more of an overhand instead of a straight cross. Campos doing a good job of circling to the lead foot. Now, Uzi switching stance and then throwing a little bit of a off-centered roundhouse. Oh, trying to come to the body. You got to be careful, too. Sometimes throwing that shot, you may end up hitting the groin.
Uziel, more of a ground guy than a stand-up guy. He's got a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Doing a good job of finding the range, though. Campos is staying just on the outside. A lot of times the shorter fighter ends up getting tagged on the outside, but he's doing a good job of staying just on the outside. Sometimes you think your range is their range, and you end up eating a lot of shots in the fight.
Campos has a definite height advantage, 6 feet versus Uziel's 5'6". Most likely enjoys a reach advantage as well.
Wow. When you get that leg and you can't get the takedown, that's when you want to start landing those shots. You can see Uzi trying to defend the takedown and then land those shots. Campos doing a good job of pressuring right now, trying to collapse the hips and pick him up. But look at how Uziel is able to go hand control. That hand control right there is so important. And now Campos has the single leg. Will he be able to get the takedown? He's getting shots to the ear, which are legal, but can disorientate you right now. You go from being very strong to being weak and a little wobbly.
So Campos pushing Vides back. Now Vides looking to stalk Campos yet again.
Ooh, nice right hand. Oh, beautiful.
Vides was rocked on that one. Nice left hand from Campos.
Oh, tries to come up. Oh, beautiful left. Nice right. Ooh, looking for that uppercut.
Alex Campos right there in the blue corner versus Uciel Vides on the left-hand side of your screen. Touch of gloves. How'd you score that first round, Joe Daddy?
Man, Uziel was definitely the aggressor, but he got rocked a few times, and now he's just been rocked again with a head kick. So it's tough because that's a fight-ending blow, and if he follows up, he's in trouble. Campos's range is dangerous. Not only is he accurate with the hands, but his kicks have had success today too. Ooh. Sometimes when your foot lands on the knee there, it hurts. You don't want to allow somebody to kick you to the body where your liver is, though. Oh my gosh.
It's like he was listening to you.
Yeah, that shot releases, the liver releases all of the toxins, and then it feels like you've been poisoned and you drop. Wow, Campos he literally is trying to end the fight with every strike. Uziel is able to pressure him right now. He's got the underhook. Maybe looking to drop, he may want to drop down to the single. Last time he did, he ate a lot of shots to the ear, which was difficult to finish his shot. He ended up having to bail on it. He's hooked the leg with his leg now. He's going to try to circle away and trip him out, kind of like a Navy ride.
Now Campos' camp is telling him to get the overhook and turn Vides.
It is difficult, too, because Vides has so much pressure on him. Nice. You'd like to see it by the ref. You want to see action.
And I like that it was a non-ambiguous stop. He was in with a big loud stop, and he stopped them immediately.
Oh, wow. Nice hook. Wow. Uzi's taking a lot of shots. However, he's still coming forward. Man, this guy is not nervous. He's not scared, which makes him dangerous.
Steps right into the pocket.
Which is crazy. Now he's having more success with the body kicks. I wouldn't be surprised to see a head kick. You see how the right arm of Campos is down? Yep. You set that head kick up with a few body kicks, and then you go high because your opponent, once again, is looking for patterns.
Campos' camp wants him to close the distance before he strikes. They think he's reaching too much.
Nice. Uziel circling to the single leg. Not looking to get too low because he took a lot of shots to the ear last time, which is very close to the back of the head, however, absolutely legal. He was looking for perhaps a Kimura there and looking for shots underneath. Wow, he's fighting the whole time. There's the Kimura almost. He's just got to lock his grip. Uziel is keeping that body lock. I can't tell if Campos' arm is trapped or if he's attempting his Kimura.
Yeah, his right arm was not trapped.
Sometimes you have to take the risk. And what he did right there was trying to pull to get on top. But then again, you know, the round's almost over. You hit the clicker. I don't know if that's the best decision. Oh my gosh. Campos has had success all night with his strikes on the outside. Uziel has pressured him. He's closed the distance. He's done well. Oh no. This guy's,
boy, Uziel can take a punch.
he has a chin like I haven't seen in a while.
Bro.
Because he's eaten a lot of kicks, he's eaten a lot of punches, and he hasn't stayed down at all. Right there, most fighters would just let the referee stop it.
None night. That punch right there would have been none night for so many other fighters.
Uziel did such a good job of regaining composure, locking in guard, trying to recover.
When you go to Wikipedia and you look up tough out, you're going to see Uziel Vides there because he is a tough out.
Now he's got the underhook. He may want to start scooting out to that underhook side to try to maybe reverse the position. He definitely needs a finish here. But it's hard because you're also rocked, so you want to try to gain your composure. You want to try to understand your bearings. He's just lost the underhook with his left arm. Now he's got the underhook with his right arm. So once you have that underhook, you want to scoot out and try to regain some type of side position. You don't want to stay flat on your back.
Right now, Uziel is probably feeling the pressure. He's falling behind, at least on my unofficial scorecard, and this is just plays into Campos's game. I mean, all he has to do is stay busy enough not to get stood up, and it's like in baseball, coming back to baseball again, he's like singles and doubles, and that's what Campos is doing enough to win the round.
we've seen the referees stand up the fights from positions, but now we see a bad cut on Uziel. And if that blood starts to go into his eyes and you see the referee say, oh, wait, I don't think he can see, that determines him stopping it. But you could tell he's keeping composure. His eyes are actually closed at the times that we can see them.
It's hard to tell if the blood is going into Uziel Vides's eyes or not. It really depends on where the cut is. But this is all boding very well for the Adrenaline FC fighter, Alex Campos.
Campos has really impressed me today with his accuracy, with his range, and with his grappling too. Because, I mean, it's not like he was afraid to go to the ground. A lot of fighters, after you rock your opponent, you back up and say, stand back up, because you don't want to go to the ground and give him a chance to submit you.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 exciting rounds of action, to the judges' scorecards we go. Here are your judges' totals. Larry Landless, he's about 30 to 25. Mike Beltran, he's at 30 to 26. And Jackie Dakins, he's at 30 to 27. All in favor of your winner by unanimous decision from Highland, California, Alex Campos. Introducing first, fighting on the blue corner to my right. She's a grappling specialist, standing 5 feet 2 inches tall. She weighed in officially at 116 pounds even. Tonight, her record stands 2 wins against 1 defeat, representing the Millennia MMA and fighting out of San Dimas, California. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the hard-hitting Mariah Samaraya Miller. And introducing her opponent, fighting across the cage out of the red corner to my left. She's a freestyle fighter, standing 5 feet 2 inches tall. She weighed in officially at 121 pounds even. Tonight, her record stands 1 win against 1 defeat, representing a Cobra Kai and fighting out of Victorville, California. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Alenita Perez. Once again, your referee in charge, Larry Landis, give the final instructions.
Y'all heard my instructions in the back. Give me a good clean fight. Obey my commands at all times. Any question, blue corner? Any question, red corner? Touch gloves, get ready to rock and roll.
All righty, our main event scheduled for 3 2-minute rounds at a catch weight of 120 pounds. There you see a very good shot of Mariah, the Samurai Miller, fighting out of the blue corner. And she'll be squaring off against this woman right here, Alanita Perez. Here we go.
Mariah's going to want to keep the motion. She's going to want to continue to move. Both fighters are orthodox right now. If I'm Alanita, I'm looking to slow down the pace of this fight, take away the ability of Mariah using her speed, put her on the fence, slow her down, tire her out, make her feel my weight, because that's very draining. That's called you have an aerobic fight when you're moving and an anaerobic fight when you engage the grappling. So you want to take away the ability of Mariah's speed. Mariah's got such good footwork. Look at that.
I know, it's really, oh, look at the high kicks. Now here's what I'm wondering. You know, when it's a catch weight, usually one fighter's coming up and the other one's coming down. Oh, beautiful right hand there from Perez. She sits Mariah Miller down.
She's looking for a guillotine, it looks like. And, I mean, Mariah was doing such a good job of landing the strikes, but she moved into the corner to where it was hard for her to continue her movement. And this is where you want to keep the fight, is against a faster fighter. You want to slow him down. Wow, what a great job, Mariah, coming back up, trying to get the head out, but you can see Alanita has the neck. It's hard to finish these, but I can't tell if we're under the chin with this angle, but this is going to be draining. This definitely slows the fight down. Mariah doing a good job of trying to fight hands. You've got to respect the choke. And a choke is just like we saw it earlier in the night. You have to respect the choke. You can't relax and sleep on this.
Or you'll go to sleep.
Oh, yes, exactly.
Alanita doing a great job of dragging Mariah down. I like the drag, like she uses her weight very effectively. There you see that judoka background, knowing how to drag the lighter Mariah around.
Now this is going to tire Mariah out, which is going to affect, oh wow, getting the last minute squeeze. Wow.
He'll be coming up on the left-hand side of your screen right there in the gray trunks with the black top.
Mariah is circling to the power of Alanita, which often you don't see that because you don't want to get hit with that power. Now doing a great job of maneuvering her body away from the fence and trying to keep Alanita away with the kicks, but Alanita coming in hard. But look at how Mariah has made adjustments. She's not staying with her back on the fence anymore. That's a very good middle round round adjustment. Changing stance, side kick. And you can see Alanita's trying to time a big shot, try to grab a hold of her. It's now difficult.
Mariah wants to get out of there, though. She has no business being in a clinch with Alanita. That's no good for her. Like you were saying, she's got to keep that distance. Get out of there. That's not where she wants to be. You hear her coach saying, get off the cage.
Oh my gosh, that was a mean knee.
This is the last place that Millennia MMA wants Mariah.
But Mariah, look how aggressive she is. She's not backing away, even though right now this aggression might get her head stuck deeper. Now she's threatening the takedown, but once again, Alanita stepping off the fence, circling off. This changes everything. If your back isn't on the fence and you have that guillotine, Mariah needs to kind of back away and start fighting hands, get her arm out. Oh, how much energy is this taking? Look at Alanita pushing her into the fence now. It's very difficult to snake out. How much energy is this using? Oh, wow, great outside trip takedown. The guillotine is taken away once you're in side control. There's half guard here. You can't get that cross-eyed guillotine. Was that enough to give Mariah the round? It's very well 2 rounds of Mariah. It's very well 1 round, 1 round. Difficult to call.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for the ladies.
Alanita is so good, especially in the back half of the round, of closing the distance and getting a hold of Miller.
Wow. Well, it seems like Alanita is trying to pick it up a little bit, and it seems like Mariah is doing a great job changing stance. Beautiful.
Oh, beautiful head kick. Mariah, the Samurai Miller knocks out Alanita believe it!
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes 19 seconds of round number 3. Referee Larry Landless puts a stop to this contest, declaring your winner by TKO due to strikes from San Dimas, California, Mariah Samaraya Mueller. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner to my right. He's an orthodox style fighter, 75 feet 8 inches tall. He went officially at 134 pounds even. Tonight, he enters the cage with a record consisting of 3 wins against 3 defeats, representing Adrenaline MMA and fighting out of San Bernardino, California. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Anthony, the Culture Rookie. And introducing his opponent, fighting across the cage out of the red corner to my left. He's a boxing and wrestling specialist, 75 feet 6 inches tall. He went officially at 135 pounds even. Tonight, he brings with him a record consisting of 5 victories against 2 defeats with 1 bout even. Representing a Team Quest and fighting out of Murrieta, California, ladies and gentlemen, introducing Mason Icobalis. Once again, your referee in charge for this championship bout, Mike El Jefe Beltran.
All right, y'all been over the rules already. Protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands at all times. Touch goes down if you want. The sound of the bell, come on out and handle your business. Let's go.
All right, this is our main event of the night at 1:35, scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds. There you see Anthony Roki in the blue corner. He'll be fighting Mason Icobalis in the red corner at 135 for the California Fight League strap. Here we go.
Both fighters coming out orthodoxed. Little bit, you can see the experience because they're not coming out there with everything. Wow, what a mean right roundhouse by Mason. But Anthony doing a good job of rotating position. Mason missing with an inside trip, but able to rotate Anthony into the cage. Now, the far arm is up, and you see Mason's arm on the right. Now he's reached down for a double leg. Anthony has tried to change his levels, trying to commit to that guillotine, which could have costed him the defense to that takedown. Once you're in side control from the guillotine, unless you have that chopped arm over, it's very difficult to finish. Anthony seems to be using it to get back to his feet, though. Mason doing a good job of controlling him here, blocking the position. Maybe some knees to the midsection are opened. It's very difficult to land strikes when your opponent's trying to stand up and you're trying to continue control down. Mason doing a great job of coming to the front headlock here. But Anthony pressures him in, pops the head out. Wow, Anthony did a great job of getting back to his feet from there.
Yeah, and getting out of choke trouble too. Anthony Roque fighting out of adrenaline MMA.
I wonder if Anthony was thinking about getting the takedown and that costed him giving up the takedown now to Mason, because he kept pressuring him on the fence instead of breaking away and creating space, maybe looking for a strike. Mason with another good body lock. He's solid into the guard right now of Anthony, but look how Anthony gets to the fence and he's starting to build up. And off of his back, he's striking too.
Mason Icabellis with a great wrestling background, looking to use that here tonight to decide where the fight goes. He knows that there'll be submission attempts.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, beautiful.
He posted to measure his strike, and now look, great job getting back to that front headlock. Going from the front headlock to the high C, elevate, down, but Anthony's so long and lanky. Now Anthony tried to jump on that guillotine. Mason going to his knees, circling in, got to pass the legs. That's a chess match right there. You see Anthony trying to use it. If he can't get the submission, he's trying to use it to get on top.
Beautiful tosses there from Roque. Roque 3 in a row.
Now, sometimes when you get rolled like that, it can cause you to be a little bit dizzy. Peruvian necktie attempt. The defense is to push the leg off of your head. This is a very good move, but if Mason brings up his hand and pushes that leg off, you'll fall off into a guillotine. It's hard to finish, though. Up, nice. Low risk, high reward. A lot of times, though, it's high risk because you end up on your back. Mason driving in, trying to finish the takedown. Anthony has not stopped trying to finish for the submission this whole round. Mason could be down in the judge's eyes because of the attempts. However, Mason was the aggressor and forced the takedowns. Either fighter right now could have gotten that round, and whoever is better and whoever conditioned better for this fight, I have a feeling is going to pull away.
Great. Icabellis, I thought, kind of pulled out the first part of the round, and Roque looked great in the second part of the round.
Oh my God, that was amazing.
Wow.
Both of them connecting, and neither of them backing up.
Amazing.
Oh my gosh. Now, Mason closes the distance, but instead of engaging the grappling, breaks off and throws some strikes there. A lot of times you can land a big shot breaking away off of the grappling because your opponent is thinking about defending the wrestling. Then his hands are down or he's in bad position. A beautiful head kick. Not sure if he was planning that head kick and or if he timed it, because it could have been to the body. Right away with the high C. Now Anthony, he's had luck in the past pushing away with that knee and getting back up from the head position. Earlier in the first round, the early one in the first round, he did a great job getting right back up. But Mason seems to have secured side control. We've seen him earlier post and then strike with the opposite hand, but it's hard to do in this position. He's trying to use that knee to maybe pin the arm down of Anthony. Anthony holding tight. It can be very frustrating when you want to do violence to somebody and they're holding you tightly. Look how Anthony's stopping Mason from being able to land strikes by just pinching in there. Mason's going to want to try to pin that arm down with his left knee and then continue to keep Anthony flat. Got to be careful and respectful of that triangle that was there. Oh, beautiful leg kicks. Ah, nice. Anthony answering back. Now, right now, in the judges' scorecards, like, they're giving it to Mason because he's still standing and he's winning the position. Oh, got to be careful. Came very close to getting an up kick there. I've seen many fights finished with an up kick to a triangle. Now, once the foot is on the hip like that, Mason needs to cut his hip. You don't want to stay in a position to where your opponent has an advantage. That's all it is. Who's got the better position?
This is reminiscent of the early part of round number one when Mason was able to dictate where the fight went. He was able to use that strength, that wrestling background to put Roque down when he needed to. Now we'll see if Roque can turn it on for the second half of round two the way he turned it on for the second half of round one.
As the round continues, you've got to address this rubber guard. You've got to you want to force that arm in and swim in between so your opponent can't get a triangle or omoplata. Oh, or you can pick him up and slam him.
He's so strong. He did that in the first round too. He lifted Roque up and just held him there for a while in the air.
A lot of times I'll tell my fighter to put his forehead underneath his opponent's chin, and you will accidentally headbutt them as you slam them, trying to force yourself out. And it's just out of consequence.
This was a much cleaner win of the round for Icabellis, although, oh, last minute sub attempt there.
Touching of the gloves, we've seen that every round, some respect, and then you've seen that every round. Both of them try to knock each other out.
They both like to come to the center of the cage and exchange.
I said with all due respect, I'm gonna try to knock you out.
Gonna buy you beer afterwards.
Oh yeah, it's amazing, these fighters. You have to be, beautiful high C. And look at how Anthony used that roundhouse to push away and create space between him and Mason. That was beautiful. That was a well-placed roundhouse, and instead of just using it for damage, he used it to create space. Ooh, nice hook. Mason caught it coming in. You want to keep your momentum, so you want to continue to pressure. You don't want to look for one big shot, but I would expect maybe fake the takedown and throw an overhand. Especially when it looks like Anthony was trying to check hook there. Now they're both a little bit exhausted. I think whoever starts to pressure more in this round is gonna pick up the decision. Ooh. Anthony's, oh. Oh, beautiful shots. Now, Mason's doing a good job of landing these single shots. But you need to double up. You got to throw multiples because you can't count on that ending the fight or a big shot. There's again the high C, getting him to the fence, and then breaks off and throws an overhand.
Great battle. If you're just tuning in, you are watching the California Fight League 135-pound title fight here in the main event, Victorville, California, in the high desert. Jay Adams alongside Joe Daddy Stevenson. And Anthony Roque's so dangerous.
It's difficult to pressure with Anthony when you've been taken down several times because you know that makes it easier. Now we have some cage control, but Anthony has underhooks. Mason's doing a good job of controlling with the overhook. Anthony breaks off. Still anyone's round.
Yeah, he does not have a lot of time, though. He's got to let his hands go.
It's still close. You always want to see multiples. It's just a numbers game. The more you throw it out there, the more, beautiful side kick, sweet chin music. 10 seconds.
Here it is, 10 seconds in the fight for the strap.
Somebody's gonna get hit right now.
The crowd wants a trade. Crowd wants a trade. Good scrap, good fight for the title.
Ladies and gentlemen, how about a big round of applause for both of these warriors. 3 fantastic rounds of action. And now to the judges' scorecards, we go for the official decision. Both judges, Chris Lieben and Rafael Davis, both see the bout 30-27, while Jackie Dakin has it 29-28, all in favor of your winner by unanimous decision. And now the CFL 135-pound champion from Marietta, California, Mason.
That was a great fight. I'm glad that's what we ended the night with.
Absolutely. All right, for my partner, Joe Daddy Stevenson, the rest of the gang who helped me out here, Ryan Sfink, we're not going to be able to get to everybody, but I want to say thank you very much to California and, of course, the Ernie Garcia family for their gracious hospitality. Thank you very much. I'm Jay Adams. We'll see you next time on California Fight League.